In this video, we're going to do two things. Number one, we're going to look at some rumors and misconceptions that are circulating about Andrew Tate. We're going to look at some reports that have surfaced from the neighborhood in which Andrew Tate lives in Romania about what actually goes on at the Tate compound. And we'll also go ahead and react to an attorney's video who reacts to Andrew Tate videos of what he says online. Let's get started. Well, the rumors are going crazy regarding Top G Andrew Tate and the Matrix getting to him. After all, there are rumors circulating on social media that Andrew Tate has already been released and he's conducting interviews with people like Tucker Carlson. Yet people are using clips and videos from April of 2022, the last time Andrew Tate got raided. Then, of course, conspiracies went wild when thoughts were that a pizza box from Jerry's Pizza pictured in Andrew Tate's video response to Greta Thunberg after their spat against each other on Twitter ended up leading to the Romanian police finding out where Andrew Tate was thanks to the location of that pizza parlor and therefore arresting him, something that Romanian authorities have actually denied, because they say they've been gathering evidence for months, and Andrew Tate isn't particularly hard to find. Not only do they have a very clear house where they were planning a New Year's Eve party, but when you actually just Google Hustlers University or Top G Podcast or Tate's Cars, they all just show up outside of Bucharest in Romania. It's actually not too terribly much of a surprise where Top G tends to be. But anyway, since a lot of speculation and rumors have been running rampant, including this idea that Andrew Tate is solely being arrested for money laundering charges rather than that of running a sex ring, it's worth adding a little bit of extra detail that's come out over the last few days. Late Friday, a judge in Bucharest ordered all of the four parties that were arrested, Andrew Tate, Andrew Tate's brother, and two women, whom we'll talk about in a moment, to be held for an additional 30 days, something that Tate's attorney is appealing to hopefully get Andrew Tate and the others released, as Andrew Tate's attorney denies that Andrew Tate has done anything wrong and actually says that they've been working with authorities and that they're surprised at the sudden arrest of Andrew Tate. Now, the Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime and Terrorism said that the suspects were arrested for, quote, appearing to have created an organized crime group with the purpose of recruiting, housing, and exploiting women by forcing them to create pornographic content meant to be seen on specialized websites for a cost. Now, in just a moment, I'm going to play a video clip of an attorney on TikTok and on YouTube who's reacted to some Andrew Tate clips and suggests that there could be reason to indicate that Andrew Tate may have basically given himself up in some of his own ramblings on the internet. But we do have some interesting information that apparently the two women that were arrested along Andrew Tate were both involved in setting up online video chat rooms. One of them was 32 years old and a former Romanian police officer, potentially having served as an officer for 4 years, having left the police force in 2014, about 8 years ago, to work video chat rooms, and now works for or with Andrew Tate. She goes by the name Emily Deely online, but her real name is Lana Radu, and was arrested alongside Georgiana Nagel, who's 28. Now, we do actually have some photos of them. Here is Ellie Daly, who used to be a law enforcement officer in Romania. And these are 3 photos of her. And then the other individual who's 28 we have right here, who was also arrested, and apparently now these two are sharing a jail cell together, at least according to The Guardian and New York Post, who are reporting some updated information on this. There is apparently a potential that today, on Tuesday, although given the time in Romania, it probably won't be today anymore, there is a potential that, well, again, was supposed to be today, maybe tomorrow, a judge might end up deciding on whether or not Andrew Tate should be released from this 30-day detention, pending other charges that may come after the raid on Tate's home. Tate's home, by the way, is also apparently a licensed gun range, and according to neighbors who were interviewed by the Times of London, apparently there are dozens of young men aged 18 to 19 that visit the compound regularly. Sometimes neighbors say 3 taxis a day come by, dropping people off. Per the neighbors, there are usually 8 to 10 women at any time presenting online sex shows from the building with shifts around the clock, and neighbors say people regularly knock on their doors asking for directions to Hustlers University or Tate's house as they get lost on the Romanian streets. According to the Times of London, one of the performers allegedly brought in £45,000, or about $54,000 per month, and allegedly received no payment while under Tate's, quote, house arrest, despite Andrew Tate claiming that women keep 80 to 85% of the fees earned, and that most women end up multimillionaires. There's also talk that 40% of the reason Andrew Tate moved to Romania was because the rape laws were more lenient. In fact, one of his quotes was the following, quote, "I'm not an effing rapist, but I like the idea of being able to do what I want." Describing his work in a now-deleted post, Tate said, "My job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, test if she's quality, get her to fall in love with me to where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together." He further claims to only date 18 to 19-year-olds because they have fewer sexual partners. Keep in mind, Andrew Tate was kicked off of Big Brother in 2016 after a video surfaced of him beating a woman. So this is some of the latest, at least mainstream media reported information on Andrew Tate. I do think it's worth watching this video from this attorney called Andrew Tate Self-Snitching. Let's take a listen to this. It's quite interesting. And here we go.
Let's first take a look from his own words, what he says.
Found this little webcam thing. So I text all my girlfriends. They're all coming here to live with me and work with me. All 5 flew in. This bitch. I'm like, she's my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. She's my girl. You're all my chick. And you're going to stay here and we're going to make some money. 3 left, 2 stayed. And we started this little webcam business from my apartment. Got to the point where at one point I had 75 women working for me in 4 locations. I had one girl and she got too drunk one day and she threw up in my apartment. I told her to clean up. She refused to clean up. Started being an idiot. So I took her stuff, threw out the window. If all the other girls see me be disrespected, they're going to lose respect for me.
Fact.
I didn't want to fire her, which is more reason why I had to fire her ass. Got her shit.
I just quickly want to mention, there are a lot of cuts in this video. I personally generally prefer to see the entire context. So in defense of Andrew Tate, there's probably a lot of context missing here. But let's just say, without all that extra context, it just doesn't sound great what Andrew Tate is saying. And these are words that are coming out of his mouth. You know, when he calls women the B word and suggests that, hey, if you're not listening, I'm going to throw your stuff out. This threatening and aggressive language definitely isn't something that anybody should, in my opinion, encourage in terms of behavior towards women. But let's keep listening.
Out the window, so throws out the window. Got her by her 2 arms and marched her out the door, locked the door. Text me, you owe me my last month's wages. I ain't paying you nothing. She went to the police and told the police I hit her.
This is how it starts. This is how law enforcement involvement with him starts.
5 in the morning, 4 months later, and I heard the door, boom, boom, and I heard police. There's a few things I can't say in the podcast. I've lived a varied life.
That is a form of self-snitching. That indicates that there's things out there that are illegal that he's done.
I've done some things when I had to pay the bill. What's this gonna be? So I like flush my phone down the toilet quickly, boom.
So I destroy evidence. Flush my phone down the toilet.
So I'm trying to hide shit. I'm looking around, like, what do I have to hide?
I'm hiding shit. I'm destroying evidence. One of the problems that you have with a guy like this is there's a treasure trove of statements that he makes that a prosecutor can use to impeach him with if he ever decides to testify.
With all these chicks.
I mean, it's a very good point. You just play some of these clips in front of a jury, it just doesn't look that good, especially if you're pretty brazen about, things that may not be the most legal.
chicks just stuck in their house, sitting there bored. And of course, they don't go out. They're not allowed out.
So I got all these chicks, they're in love with me. They don't go out. They're not allowed out. Restricting somebody of their movement is part of force, fraud, or coercion.
You stay in the house. You don't go nowhere. You're not, no restaurant, no club, nothing.
Do you get to eat? Do you get to take a shit? When you start controlling somebody like that, that is the crux of you come here on a promise, but when you get here, I control your every movement. That's coercion.
Forget the sex part. Start beating the shit out of you. I grab you by your neck, start annoying me, trying to resist, and just poof.
That is who he's got to be in order to control these women, in order to keep the money coming in. Because he was broke before, right? Now he's making money off the backs of all these ladies brought to him because they're in love with him. Their movement is restricted. According to him, they're beaten. That is slavery. One of the issues that you're going to have for somebody that has multiple citizenship is whether they're a risk of flight or not.
If I fuck up, England wants me in jail, I can fly on a Nigerian passport, or an American, or an English. I have so many passports. Are you gonna block them all?
He's got so much content that's out there that it just flouts any notion that he's not a flight risk.
Taking all of this information together, I think it's worth noting that, look, it does seem like Andrew Tate is not only still in jail, but he is in jail for sex ring operations and potentially forcing people to work for him in webcam operations as potentially cam girls. Now, the issue here is Andrew Tate brags on social media about helping people become free and breaking out of slavery, yet it seems like he is enslaving women himself.